And I was just reading that repaying debts for France costs more than defence or education. It is a pretty dire financial situation, one that the Prime Minister was trying to solve, but the opposition against it is just, it appears, too great, Ali.
Yeah, that stat is right. They pay more servicing their annual debt than they can spend on defence or education. Obviously, defence, I mean, education is always important, but defence at the moment is a European issue with Ukraine, incredibly important. So that sort of is one statistic of many, really, that gives you an indication of the pretty perilous state of France's economy at the moment. It's debt to GDP ratio is another statistic, as third highest in the EU, only behind, I think, Italy and Greece. It hasn't balanced a budget since 1974. So whichever kind of way you come at it, France is not only in a deep economic issue at the moment, but it could get considerably worse. And I think, depending on what happens today, and it looks pretty certain that Francois Bayrou, the French Prime Minister, will lose this vote of no confidence today. A vote of no confidence he called, incidentally, by surprise last month, to effectively trying to buy legitimacy in his budget. He now looks like he's going to fail in that. Both the far left and the far right obviously don't normally agree on much, but in this case are going to join up and vote against him. I was speaking about half an hour, 45 minutes ago, to Jordan Bardella, who is the leader of National Rally, Marine Le Pen's party. Potentially, you look at the polls, he could be France's next president in 2027. They say they're not going to vote for it. They don't agree with the budget that Bayrou has put forward, a budget that would see 44 billion euros in savings. It sounds a lot, but actually really would just be sort of slicing away at their economic problems, but nevertheless doesn't have the support. And I think the two public holidays, getting rid of two of France's national holidays, that's the kind of the big headline grabbing policy that he's put forward. Deeply, deeply unpopular here, as you would imagine. And so, assuming things all go according to predictions, Bayrou, by tonight, will have lost a vote of no confidence, and Emmanuel Macron will be left really kind of with no good options. Does he look to try and appoint a fifth Prime Minister in around 2 years' time? Who's going to want to do the job, given the sort of the lack of success that the predecessors have had? Is there any guarantee that they're going to do any better, given that it's a hung parliament? There's just huge disagreement between the various wings of French politics. Another way through it, which is sort of getting increasing support, is for Macron himself to stand down. But he has steadfastly repeated that he's not going to do that. But nevertheless, he is clearly being left in a pretty sticky situation.